Department would provide updates when significant information was known regarding the homicide of Jacqueline Avant. I am joined again by Beverly Hills Police Chief Mark Steenbrook with new details regarding this ongoing case. Please allow the Chief to complete his briefing before asking any questions. Chief?
Good afternoon, thank you. I'm Beverly Hills Police Chief Mark Steenbrook. I am joined by members of our department's command staff, as well as the command staff from the Los Angeles Police Department, including Deputy Chief of Police Blake Chow and Captain Yasir Jalani. I'd also like to thank Chief Moore for his continued partnership during this case. We are very pleased to announce today that we have arrested a suspect in the homicide of one of our beloved Beverly Hills residents, Jacqueline Avant. Ms. Avant's legacy will endure, and again we extend our deepest condolences to her family. I'd like to walk you through the information that I can currently share. Please understand this is an ongoing investigation. The suspect under arrest is 29-year-old Ariel Maynor of Los Angeles. Here are the timeline of events as we know them. Multiple surveillance videos, including city cameras, showed the suspect's vehicle heading eastbound out of Beverly Hills shortly after Mrs. Avant was shot early Wednesday morning. At approximately 3:30 a.m., LAPD Hollywood Division responded to a reported shooting at a residence in the 6000 block of Gracioso Drive. When they arrived, they found Maynor in the backyard suffering from a gunshot wound to his foot. Following a thorough investigation by LAPD, it was determined that a burglary had occurred at that residence and Maynor had accidentally shot himself in the foot. He was subsequently arrested by LAPD and transported to a local hospital and has been in law enforcement custody since. Beverly Hills detectives responded to Hollywood Division and collected evidence connecting Maynor to the crime in our city, including a suspected weapon. Beverly Hills detectives have assumed investigative responsibility for both cases. The investigation leads us to believe there are no further threats to public safety. The evidence thus far shows that only one suspect was involved in the crime and the motive remains under investigation. Maynor will be booked into jail when medically cleared by doctors. Our focus now has transitioned from finding a suspect to a continuing investigation that will lead to a successful prosecution. I would like to thank the personnel from LAPD Hollywood Division for their diligence and coordination that led to this arrest, and I'd like to thank my staff who has been working tirelessly to ensure the arrest of this suspect. Mrs. Avant's death is an incredible loss for our community. The department has been in contact with the Avant family and we continue to offer our support. To our Beverly Hills community, let me reassure you, this is one of the most protected and patrolled cities in the world. Crimes of any kind will not be tolerated here. Let this be a message to anyone thinking of committing a crime in Beverly Hills. You will be caught and brought to justice. I'll now take some questions.
Was this a random attack?
I think it's too early in the investigation to get to the motive. It may have been or may have been targeted, and for what purpose we don't know. We're still looking at that.
Can you tell us anything about the suspect's movements before Mrs. Avant's home and any background on it?
Well, to answer the first question, of course, through the investigation, we'll be going back and trying to establish a timeline of him coming to the home.
Any background, motive, anything about him?
He has an extensive criminal record. He's on parole, and that's about all I'll say on that.
Does the suspect have mental health issues?
I don't know that, and I don't think we are aware of that at this time.
Chief, do we believe this guy was a solo operator, or did he have other people who were working with him to take him out, transport him around, or anything else?
At this time, we're looking at only him as a suspect, but again, there's a lot of evidence to still go through, so we're leaving open the possibility there could be other people involved.
You still got a vehicle out there, I would take it?
We have a vehicle, yes, and it's going to be processed for forensics.
The weapon itself, again, we got a ballistics match? What else do we have on this thing, if anything?
We're working on forensic. There is a weapon, and there are the availability to get ballistics from the two scenes.
Same caliber as what happened to the Avant case?
Yes.
Can you give us a sense of how important surveillance video was and how the suspect was eventually caught?
I think surveillance video is always good, and we have a community that has their own private surveillance equipment, which is also helpful, and they love to give it to us when we ask for it. They're very helpful and cooperative, which we appreciate very much. And then the city has public cameras that are also very helpful in the conduct of any investigation.
I just want to ask about the security guard. Can you give us a sense of where the security guard was, if he was for the Avant family or for the community, and what his role might have been in trying to stop this?
He was a private security guard. He was not contracted or hired by the city.
Chief, can we talk about what happened at the point in Hollywood when he was arrested? What was he doing at that location? Can you describe that home where he was actually caught? Or with Deputy Chief Chow?
I'll let Deputy Chief Chow address the question since it's in his command.
All right. Blake, thanks.
Thank you. Thank Pete. As Chief Stainbrook had mentioned, on December 1st at 0330 hours, our Hollywood officers received a radio call at 6000 block of Graciosa Avenue, where they encountered the subject had been apparently shot in the foot. They interviewed the people that were living in that residence. They collected evidence of a burglary and also evidence of a shooting, including the rifle in the backyard. He was subsequently taken into custody by Hollywood and booked for the hot paw burglary. And somewhere in the night, we had an astute watch commander at Hollywood that starting to put two and two together and reached out to Beverly Hills. And we have a very good relationship with Beverly Hills anyway, but we started communicating, and there were some similarities and stuff that led Beverly Hills to come and conduct more of an investigation.
Going back for a second, you said collected a rifle found at the scene. Chief, Beverly Hills, is this indeed the weapon involved? A rifle, not a handgun? You're nodding. Blake, what did this guy got picked up with?
I can't speak for Beverly Hills case, but we ended up getting our rifle in custody at this burglary.
What type?
An AR-15.
AR type series rifle?
Yes.
What about the home in Hollywood itself? Is that a quote high-end residence? How would you describe it?
Yes, sir. Do you want to answer that about the
Hollywood Hills?
Yeah.
Nice area, Hollywood Hills.
So actually the timeline, it was 7 minutes after the shooting here that Hollywood Division got the call?
About an hour.
No, it's about an hour.
Chief, can you describe the sequence of events in that Graciosa home? Did he rob the family and then shoot himself in the foot? What exactly transpired?
Well, it's preliminary right now, but it appears as though, yes, he was in the house and collecting property, and then after that somehow discharged a weapon and apparently shot himself in the foot. So we are, the Hollywood detectives and officers collected many things of evidence, including some forensics in and around the house that would lead us to believe that he was outside when that happened. So that's how we ended up taking him into custody.
Do you know whether he was firing at someone or just accidentally shot himself while he was handling the gun?
No, we don't know that.
Does the suspect have any kind of criminal history?
As I stated, he has an extensive criminal history, but I won't go any further into the details. And he is on parole as well.
Did the suspect know the family?
Excuse me?
Did the suspect know the family
In which case?
in any way in the Avant?
Not to my knowledge at this time, but we're still investigating that possibility.
Chief, can you provide more details about how Mrs. Avant came into contact with the suspect?
No, I'm not going to talk about that at this time.
Do you believe the suspect could be connected to the burglary break-ins in the area?
We don't know that at this time, but we will keep that open as a possibility as we keep investigating. There's still a lot of evidence to go through, and so we'll continue to look at that.
Chief, was she shot once in this incident or more shots?
How many shots fired?
Oh, I'm not going to talk about the details of that.
About the weapon, was it stolen?
I don't know at this time. We'll obviously look at that. Yes.
Chief, the fact that these were very different locations, not that close apart, Beverly Hills and Hollywood, is there any information? What is it? Does that imply anything that it was random in some sort, or can you shed any light on that?
Are you asking if there's a link between the two? We don't know that at this time, but we will look at that throughout the investigation.
Does that suggest a random targeting?
I don't, it's too early to say. I know there's a lot of questions whether this is just random or very targeted, and I think there's still a lot of interviews to do. We have not been able to interview the suspect due to his medical condition. So until we can do that and interview some other people and do a lot of follow-up on the forensic evidence we have, I think it's too early to say.
Do you have an idea of how long that will be before he's cleared medically?
I don't. I'm not a doctor. I'm a doctor. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. If there, Gio will have some information to pass out, and he'll also give you the number to our hotline. Again, we always ask for the public's help. If you have any information in regards to this crime or any other crime, he will give you a tip line to contact for the public or members of the press. Thank you very much.